Hello, Ready Campers, and welcome to week 6. Today we're going to be talking about the incident command system. That is, when to lead and how to lead. A big part of being able to lead your people is you have to have team members. And in order for your team members to be productive, here's some of the things that we put together that make a positive team member. Always be there for your team. Making sure that your team knows that you're there, you're dedicated, and you're definitely going to help out no matter what. Communicate. Communicate is really big when you are dealing with a lot of people, so that everybody knows exactly what's going on and when to do different things. So if you have someone that's communicating, it's best if you have time to stop and listen to the person that's talking. Jump in and help out. Always make sure that if there's a job to be done, don't wait to be asked to help. Always jump in and help out. Share your ideas. You do count. So you may be the one sitting back saying, boy, it'd be much easier if we just did it this way, or it can be done faster if we do it this way. Make sure that you share those ideas so that the people on your team can know that you're thinking about them and trying to help out the best you can. Be flexible. Sometime in an emergency, you get to be very rigid. We have to do this. We have to do this right now. But if you're doing something and if it doesn't work, make sure that you're flexible enough to say, okay, well, we've been doing it this way. It's not making any progress. So let's go ahead and be flexible and try something else. And again, that works as a problem solver. If something you're doing not working, make sure that you come up with another reason or another way to do something so that you're trying to solve that problem. Are huge in being a part of a big team is being respectful and supportive. So if you're a team member that doesn't really like to give up a lot of information, they're kind of shy, they kind of stand back, they'll do whatever you're asked. But if they feel like they're, when they do speak up and say, hey, what about this? No one listens to them, they don't respect them, they're not going to offer it up again. So one of the things that you want to do is make sure you treat everybody the way that you want to be treated so that they can feel comfortable and offer up suggestions when they have them. One thing that I always say is not one of us is as smart as all of us. We have to work together as a team to come up with different ways on how to get things done. So understanding ICS, or the Incident Command System, this system provides common language, effective communication, and understanding among the team members. It's a well-defined management structure, and it also provides accountability. Now, the common language means that at the end of this presentation, hopefully you'll be able to give me a definition of what an incident commander does, or what the operations or logistics or administration person, what they do. So in an emergency, if someone says, hey, we need to get some things from the logistics person, you'll know exactly what that logistics person does, and you'll be able to accomplish that goal. It's a well-defined management structure. Now, how many of us likes to be told what to do by multiple people? It's confusing, it's not very effective. So the incident command system provides a very clear, definite, well-defined management structure to where you have to report to one person, and then that person reports to somebody, and then that person reports to somebody, eventually until you get to the incident manager or the incident commander. And it also provides accountability. The accountability is so that everybody on the incident is accounted for, so that no one's left behind, so that we don't lose people. Accountability is making sure that things get done in a way that the incident commander then can assure that his or her goals are being met. So if you are able to write down what the incident command system looks like, this is what it would look like on paper. So you would have the incident commander, and that is the person that's in charge. So the person that is going to be drawing up the objectives, making sure that everything's taken care of, that's the incident commander. And the incident commander, like in the fire service or any other type of emergency situation, it's the first responder on scene. So if there was a tornado in your community and you're the first person that walks outside and starts assessing the damage, you are then called the incident commander. Now, sometimes the least experienced person can be put in that incident commander role. Well, we train everybody how to be an incident commander, but if you're not comfortable with it, that's understandable, because someone that has a little bit more experience or has been doing it a little bit longer is going to be more comfortable with it. And as that person arrives on location, then the incident commander can turn over the incident commander position to somebody else. If you have big incidents like the first thing that pops into my head is when the World Trade Centers went down. That lasted for weeks, if not months, with an incident commander. And obviously, that person can't be awake the whole time, so you have to swap out your leadership roles, and it can be done very easily. But it's that person's responsibility to come up with the objectives on how he or she wants to mitigate or lessen the problem that you guys are dealing with. So that person, sometimes if the incident gets really large, they can't do it all on their own, and they're going to need help. So underneath the incident commander here, you'll see that there's an operations, a logistics, a planning, and administration. So with the ready team that we're going to teach you guys, these are the specific roles that you guys are going to have. So the incident commander is going to have operations in charge when there is a lot of people, as in too many people for one person to handle. So operations is the person that's in charge of the workers. And we're going to see that on the next slide. Okay. The next one is logistics. So if we need to get stuff for the incident scene, whether we need to get a bunch of porta potties, we need to get a bunch of lighting. If it gets dark out, we need some lighting. Anything that the incident commander needs, they're going to go to logistics and say, hey, can you set this up? We need to get these things coming in. If we have to evacuate a bunch of people from the area, the best way to do that is on buses. So the incident commander is going to say, can you get me 15 buses from the local bus companies, and we will start getting these people evacuated from the area. If they have a planning person in charge or in place, that planning person isn't trying to outthink the incident commander, because again, the incident commander has his or her objectives to be met. The planning person is thinking ahead. Now, what I mean by that is if they're doing an incident that's outside, and the planning person is looking at anything and everything that can affect the operations or the incident. So when the planning person looks ahead and says, wow, there's going to be a really big storm moving through the area in about 4 hours, they're going to go back to the incident commander and say, listen, I looked at the weather reports and we have a huge storm moving through in about 4 hours. It's going to be here. Do you think this incident's going to be done by then? Or these are some of the things that you'll have to start to prepare for this storm, because it is coming. It'll be here within so many hours. So that's what the planning person is doing, is they're helping the incident commander kind of see what might be coming ahead. Okay? And the last one is administration. During an emergency scene, sometimes it's important to, like I said, call in buses and call in porta potties and big, huge lighting and things like that. Well, all that stuff costs money. The incident commander doesn't really care about that. The incident commander just needs the things that they need to fix the incident. So if I'm in the fire truck and I'm the incident commander and I say I need to get a bunch of buses here, I'm not worried about paying for those buses. I'm worried about those buses getting here to take care of the people. But the person that's in administration, they're figuring out what it's going to cost, and they're keeping tabs on that, because the bus company eventually will want to be paid for the buses being there to help evacuate people out of the scene. So that's what administration does. Operations, again, is in charge of the people, which we're going to see on the next slide. Logistics, they're in charge of getting you stuff. Planning is in charge of what's coming ahead that the incident commander might need to prepare for. And again, administration is the one that's keeping tabs on the price. So now if we just focus under operations, this is what it looks like. Now you guys have been taught fire safety, you've been taught search and rescue, and you've been taught first aid, and you're going to be learning CPR, so the medical portion of it. So under operations, we have 3 divisions in itself. We have fire suppression, search and rescue, and medical. Okay. Now you can see that underneath fire suppression, we have fire suppression team A, B, C, and then the staging. We have search and rescue teams A, search and rescue teams B, search and rescue team C. And then in medical, we have triage teams, we have treatment teams, and we have the morgue. Unfortunately, if you are dealing with people in a search and rescue operations and they're not labeled red because of their injuries, they could be labeled black, and those people are obviously the ones that are dead. So somebody has to be in charge of that. And the way that operations works, so if the incident commander says that we need to do a search of this building over here, they're going to go to the operations person and tell them, hey, we need to search, get some teams together and go search this building. The operations person is going to go down to the search and rescue group leader and say, put 3 teams together and go over and search this area and make sure that this building is clear. So the search and rescue group leader is going to go pick their teams, and then the teams are going to go over and take care of what was just requested by the group leader. Once Team A, Team B, and Team C complete their task, they come back and say that no one was found, everybody was found, we found 2 people, they're triaged, and then they're going to report that to the group leader. The group leader is going to go back to operations and tell operations that the building has been searched and they found somebody or they didn't find anybody, and then the operations person then is going to go to the incident commander and tell the incident commander what was just reported by the search and rescue group leader. Confusing? Maybe. But here's the reason why we have so many steps and so many people in these leadership roles during a large incident. Now you can see the number of people that are under fire suppression, right? There's 8 people there. We have search and rescue teams can be anywhere from 2 people to 5 people teams. So we can have the workers underneath each of the search and rescue group leader, the fire suppression group leader, and the medical group leader. We can have a lot of people underneath those positions. So let's say we have 60 people in all 3 of these divisions. And why wouldn't the search and rescue team just go up to the incident commander and tell them that the building's been searched? Well, the reason is because that incident commander would be very overwhelmed if every one of the workers went to them and said that they just completed this is done, this is done. That's why we break everything down and we have steps that we have to follow. So in the incident command system, the incident commander has 4 people that the incident commander listens to. Underneath operations, you can see that the operations person has 3 different people that they have to listen to. Fire suppression in this model has 4 people that they have to listen to. If you have 4 people coming up to you all at once, it's very easy to manage that conversation than it is to have 60 people come up to you at once telling you what they just completed. So that's why we have everything breaking down this way, so that it's very defined as to who you would report to, and it makes it easier for you as a search and rescue team or a fire suppression team to understand that you have to take directions from your group leader and your group leader only. So as I was saying before, the purpose of the incident command system, it will control the situation. So it maintains safety, and we do that through accountability. It provides clear leadership, kind of like what I just explained, as far as you only having one person that you have to essentially listen to, and then that one person reports to one person, and then eventually gets up to the incident commander. It improves the effectiveness of the rescue efforts, and it does that by the incident commander has, again, his or her objectives that have to be met. So once the building's been searched, it's been crossed off of the incident commander's list, and it won't go back. The incident commander knows that it's taken care of, so they won't have to send any more teams over to search that building because it's already been taken care of. So again, incident command. The incident commander will need to, again, in the beginning, identify the size of the incident. So what just happened, what needs to be fixed, okay? And they're going to determine what needs to happen next based on what they're looking at or based on their size up. And then they're going to deploy the resources as needed. So like I said, the incident command system can be very complex with all the team members in play, or if the incident commander can just handle the small emergency, they don't have to put an operations person in charge. They don't have to put the planning person in charge or the logistics person. The incident commander can take care of it themselves because it's a small incident. If it's a large incident, then yes, they're going to have to take those, let's call them tools, out of their toolbox and place the operations person in charge of the people, and then put the logistics person in charge of getting stuff. That way the incident commander isn't very overwhelmed with all the tasks that need to be done. They would just simply pass that task on to somebody else and wait for that person to complete it, as the incident commander then can deal with other incidents that's taking place, and then eventually all the tasks will be completed. So that is the incident command system. As you can see, and as we talked about, it is a very defined way of knowing when to lead and how to lead if the event ever happens or the incident ever takes place. So if you have any questions, feel free to email either myself or Mary Jean, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Have a good day and enjoy the rest of Ready Camp.